Switching gears here, President Joe Biden, speaking in an AP interview yesterday, addressed the state of the economy, saying that the American people are really, really down. However, he struck a more optimistic tone about a possible recession, saying, first of all, it's not inevitable. Secondly, we're in a stronger position than any nation in the world to overcome this inflation. For more on the president's comments, let's bring in Yahoo Finance's Rick Newman. Rick, just want to get your reaction to what the president had to say.
He did give good answers, but I think the problem is that he's being asked these questions in the first place. It's like the old saw about when did you stop beating your wife? He's giving the right answers. He's saying the way out of this is to project confidence. But the fact that he's getting these questions in the first place indicates the kind of political problem he's in. He's going to get more of this. The U.S. economy is not in a recession. I think it's important to keep reminding people that we still have a very healthy job market despite inflation getting everybody down. But Biden is right about people being in a really foul mood. We have one consumer confidence survey that is at its lowest level ever. That is lower than it was during the financial crash in 2008. It's lower than it was after the September 11th terrorist attacks in 2001. So clearly something's wrong out there, and Biden knows this is political peril for him.
Rick, how does this play out for the midterm elections?
It's terrible for Democrats, and they seem to know it. Biden can do. He will do everything he can to try to convince people that things are still pretty good. Earlier this week, he said he's never been more optimistic about the outlook for the United States. But you can't talk people into feeling better. And this is almost entirely about inflation. And within inflation, I think it's almost entirely about gas prices. We've never seen gas prices around the country that start with a 5 before. And I think for Biden and the Democrats to have any hope of holding on to Congress in November, for sure, we need to get gas prices into the $4 range, and $3 would be better. I think people will feel like we're finally out of the woods when they see gas prices that start with a 3, and I don't think we're going to get that this year.
As we're seeing some of the inflationary pressures shift as well from goods to services, or in more so to services as well, during a heavy summer travel season, we've heard Secretary Pete Buttigieg, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, pressing airlines. So this more out of the administration, more out of the White House, particularly around what they're looking to do to try and help out consumers. But, you know, what is within these talks and what's actually going to come at the end of it?
There's just not much that the administration can do on its own. What might make a difference, or at least make it look as if Democrats are on the ball, is if they could pass some sort of legislation. And that there still is a chance they could pass, I guess, what you might call the remnants of Biden's Build Back Better plan, which might be some kind of green energy tax credits, but perhaps very minimal social welfare spending. But honestly, at this point, people don't want to hear about green energy. They just don't want to hear it right now. People want to know, a lot of people are like, I get it. We need to address climate change, which is a very long-term problem. What are you going to do for me right now? And, here's what we're going to see. We're going to see Biden going over to Saudi Arabia this summer. What he needs to deliver from that trip is a tangible outcome in terms of more Saudi Arabian oil output. And there are some other things they're working on. There just are no quick fixes to this inflation problem.
And Rick, it doesn't sound like President Biden might be getting much support from the business community. A good survey, or a dour survey, I should say, from the Conference Board out today, just looking at waning consumer confidence amongst the business community and the leaders that, in fact, are running these large companies.
Yeah, and in that survey, something like 60% of CEOs and business leaders say they do expect a recession in 12 to 18 months. I mean, guys, do you feel like I do? Let's just start the recession today. Let's get into it and get it over
Rick, I
with.
wonder if we're in one.
We're talking ourselves into a recession here, and we're not in a recession here in the United States. So one thing I'll say about that Conference Board survey, that was a survey of global business leaders, and the economy in other parts of the world is worse than it is here. Europe may already be in a recession, and they are far more exposed to higher energy prices due to Russia's invasion of Ukraine than we are here in the United States. So Biden did say in his AP interview yesterday, said, we're in the United States, we're really in about the best position of any leading country in terms of our economy. He's right about that. But again, you're not going to talk Americans into a better mood by saying, don't worry, other people have it worse. So we may be sort of the sort of cleanest dirty shirt, if you will, but this is just not going to persuade people that these are good times in America.
Well put as always. Yahoo Finance's Rick Newman. Thanks so much.
Bye, guys.